everyone. My name is Parr Usual, and today I'm going to be playing a little set for Split Rail Split Fest. Thank you so much for thinking of me and inviting me on. This first song is a song I wrote a little bit ago, maybe like a couple years ago. It's called I Love House Shows, and it's about how much I love house shows. Thanks again. Mountains and the stars dim the moon, and I hear the music from my car. I think the cops might be on the way soon, and the seams of my jeans, they brush the ground, and I see that same old familiar crowd into a home, and I call my own. Above the humming floors, between a joke and a cloud of smoke, and I have found my peace that I've been asking for. To feel is one thing, but to belong is another. Tell me why you do the things that you love to do. Maybe I'll dye my hair your favorite color. You'll love me too. Well, that one band's about to go, and I love that one song that they all wrote 3 months ago. When I was low, beside a white little house, between bloodshot eyes and his soft, sweet, slurred words, and I have found my peace that I've been asking for. To feel is one thing, but to belong is another. Cool. That was I Love House Shows. I wrote about how much I love house shows. Unfortunately, house shows are not so much a thing at the moment, but hopefully one day they will be. This next song is off of my debut double that came out last July 2020. It's off the double Where the Sun and Moon Exchange, and this one is Drowsy Daydream, the A side. So. I'm late again. Left my pills on his carpet, and he had no bed for him, and I'm outside his frame of mind. Got no gasoline, about to play the show for free, but I said it's fine. And he's satisfied underneath the moonlight. And thoughts of him in my head, the smoke that leaves his breath, and a gold chain between two things that carry me, that carry me. Carry me. About to call my mom. This Pepsi keeps me calm, and I know I'm at close range, and I'm outside his frame of mind. Drowsy daydream, Yeah, salad days on repeat, and he said it's fine, and he's satisfied underneath the moonlight. And thoughts of him in my head, the smoke that leaves his breath, and a gold chain between two things that carry me, that carry me. He carry me. Yeah.
Hello, Grayson.
Hello, Anna.
Thank you for being so kind and playing for us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
You're quite
I
welcome.
love the setup, as this iso booth usually does not look like this.
Yes, it's giving me some drowsy daydreams.
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay, well, do you mind just telling us a little bit about yourself? I know you go by Parr usual, so could you maybe go into depth a little bit about that and kind of where you got that from?
Absolutely. Well, I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina. It's about like hour 40 minutes east of here. And pretty much just like kind of did music on my own, like all of high school, just kind of did my own thing. I was way too afraid to ever like share it in high school. So only kind of, I would say like senior year of high school to now have I actually been like putting stuff out. And the first couple of things I put out were on SoundCloud. I put out a song called Eros on SoundCloud, then a song called Peach Rings. And I came up with Par Usual pretty much by the saying of like per usual. Just a little play on words. My last name is Parr. So it was just like a little play on words, just kind of thing. And at first I kind of like wanted to do like synthy pop kind of stuff like that. I play like a lot around in Logic. I'm a keyboard player first, so doing keys and stuff like that was really easy for me. And just like something really fun. But now that I've kind of enjoyed songwriting more and more and like kind of made it more of something I can actually like use instead of just writing for myself, like, you know, performing for other people, I've been like kind of writing a little bit of everything now. So it's pretty much how we got here.
Nice. Glad to hear it. Okay. Could you also maybe just tell us like some of your biggest inspirations, kind of where you get that inspiration from as an artist and just who inspires you?
Absolutely. I feel like in terms of songwriting, I feel like my influences really like fluctuate, and I kind of write music based on what I'm listening to, which I feel like most people say that, but as far as like genre, really, like I don't feel like I stick to a specific genre all the time. Whenever I first started doing Par Usual, I was listening to a lot of like the 1975 and like 80s stuff, so that's kind of where a lot of my synth pop stuff came from. And then I started listening to like more Billy Joel, and I've been writing more songs that are kind of like Billy Joel-esque a little bit. Drowsy Daydream is definitely sort of like an ode to Mac DeMarco in a way. He's definitely my biggest influence of all time, easily, next to the Stones, 1975, like I said before. But it pretty much just like kind of depends on who I'm listening to. I kind of like emulate who I'm listening to. And so recently I've been like kind of diving back into some country music. You know, and our project Folklore, if I'm allowed to talk about that.
Yeah.
And so like writing country music now and like doing country songs is something I've been trying to do. So it just kind of depends on whoever I'm listening to. And country wise, I would definitely say like Hank Williams Jr. Sorry for people who like Hank Williams Sr. And like Dolly Parton maybe, stuff like that. So it's kind of the name of the game, I guess.
Very cool. Very diverse, I must say.
Thank you.
So I know you are also in the recording program, studying audio engineering. So do you want to talk a little bit about how you kind of incorporate audio engineering to your own projects or other people's projects and some stuff that you're currently working on for others or yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I kind of like stumbled into the program not really being, I don't know, I knew I wanted to do music. I knew I wanted to work in the music industry. It was just like, oh, audio engineering kind of sounds cool. It wasn't like, I wasn't doing a bunch of that in high school. So this is kind of new for me in a way. And really, I like producing my own stuff, and it is fun producing my own stuff. However, I have come to really love producing other people's music, and if I'm allowed to say, hopefully, I'm currently working on Jasmine's new single that's about to come out soon, Jasmine Hunjin. And that has been a lot of fun and challenging, but I really like taking people's ideas and kind of like working with them and someone giving me like, here's my bare bones idea of what should we do with it kind of thing. And I feel like that's kind of how folklore ended up too with our double. And, you know, we work so well together. I feel like it's kind of one of those things. It's like, okay, here's the idea. What do we do now? And I kind of like being able to bounce off ideas more so than just doing my entire thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm starting to love audio engineering more and more. And being in the studio is like the best, but I definitely don't like doing my own stuff, I feel like, as much as I like producing other people's music. So
Yeah, that's awesome that you can do both.
thanks.
So do you want to just plug yourself a little bit? Tell us where we can follow you, any new music or previous music that you just want to plug.
Yeah, absolutely. So as of right now, I'm actually sort of working on a new single, which I'm going to play after I finish plugging my stuff. And I'm actually working with Alvin Carlo III, arranging some horns and stuff for that. And probably spring, you'll probably get that. But in the meantime, you can follow me at Parr Usual on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, also Parr Usual. Spotify, Apple Music, all that, Parr Usual. My most recent release was Where the Sun and Moon Exchange. It's a little black and white cover, you'll see it, and it's a little double, 2 songs. But more recent music, like we were talking about, me and Anna's duo project, it's called Folklore, and Love Drunks is not Drunks, it's really with a Z, is going to come out November 13th, so you can check that out. And yeah, I guess that's what I got going on.
Nice. All right, well, you're sounding great.
Thank you.
Let's hear some more tunes.
Awesome. So yeah, this next song is called Manhattan in the Spring. This is the song that me and Alvin are currently working on together, doing some cool horns and strings part. This is the first time I'm playing it IRL, or I guess on screen or whatever. So hopefully you'll enjoy it, and it'll make recording it a lot better. Manhattan in the spring. The neighborhood boys now are meant for me. And the piano, well, it sits in the bay window. As then we watch the driver take our son to school. Cussing and the laughter when he reads the Times, and he looks like Billy Joe when he goes to work in his suit and tie. And I feel the seams on my blood shiver, when he sings to himself. She's always a woman to me. Manhattan in the spring, and I sing for my supper that's on the house for free. And the boss man told me I'm a bitch ahead of my time, but according to Miss Winter, I'm just doing fine. My mother-in-law fears God, and she hold my hand when the priest says fear not. And I feel the beads on my black rosary, but the fur coat that I showed up in, it means the most to me. Manhattan in the spring, and I feel the heavy gaze coming from the poor was Manhattan in the Spring, and like I said before, it's just kind of a song about where I'd like my life to land. I'd love to be living in Manhattan at some point in my life, and rich enough to have a driver take my son to school. Hence the lyrics. So yeah, my next song, let's see. I think I'm gonna do a cover if that's okay with the crowd. Okay. So. Okay, it's in tune enough. This song is called "If You Ever Change Your Mind," and it's by Ella Fitzgerald. It's definitely not one of her most well-known songs, probably. One of her early works, but it's very sweet, and I like to play it. Here we go. If you ever change your mind, and I'll be around where I used to be, lonely hearted all, waiting for your call. If you ever change your mind, since you've been away I'd find nobody else means a thing to me, and I miss you so, but you'll only know if you ever change your mind. A million times I've wondered how we could have said goodbye. Times I've wondered if you feel the same as I. Now I'm so lonesome I could cry, though you left my love behind. Not waiting endless eternity makes no difference who once appealed to you. Now I'll be gentle, sweet and kind, dear. If you ever change your mind, a million times I've wondered how we could have said goodbye. A million times I've wondered if you feel the same as I. Now I'm so lonesome I could cry, though you left my love behind. Not waiting endless eternity makes no difference who once appealed to you. Now I'll be gentle, sweet and kind, dear. If you ever change your mind, if you ever change your mind. Yeah. Cool. That's Ella Fitzgerald for you.
I'm coming in.
All right.
Yeah, so I just have a couple more questions for you.
Sounds good.
Okay. So do you mind, I know we talked about it a little bit, but do you mind walking me through some of your songwriting process, if you have one? I know some people don't really have a songwriting process. And yeah, just kind of, and how you also, I know you record some of your own stuff. So kind of how you go about that, like what's your setup? Just walk us through it.
Yeah, absolutely. So my setup, I guess I'll start with that first because that'll be a little easier to talk about, has definitely morphed. Now that I'm in the School of Music and I have access to a studio, it's a little different. The only real recording mic I possess is a Audio-Technica. It's a 2020 USB mic. And it actually does not do that bad because I've used it in some of my early recordings and no one told me it sounded that bad. But it's pretty cheap, and so basically I just kind of record ideas like that. I love using voice memos. I'm like way more into voice memos. I do stuff like that. It's easier for like melody and chord to come to me before lyrics sometimes. But yeah, I usually put my ideas down in Logic, my favorite DAW on the planet. And then we'll hit up all my friends and be like, does this sound good or not? And then if it does, sort of expand on it. And now that, like I said, have access to studio, come in here and I can record like a better recording than kind of on my own. Especially now that I've been using or writing more songs that call for real acoustic or live instruments as opposed to like patches and synths and stuff like that. And yeah, as far as my songwriting process goes, like I said, it's like I feel like I definitely write songs reflective of like what I'm listening to. I definitely feel like I don't really have like maybe my sound or like a genre I really really like to write, because the stuff I listen to sometimes isn't really what I like to, or I'm like really good at writing. But yeah, for example, like Manhattan in the Spring, that's definitely one song I've been listening to, or I wrote after listening to like a lot of Mumford and Sons, Laura Marling, Billy Joel, just like folk stuff kind of. I know Billy Joel really isn't, but like sort of stuff like that. And very wordy lyrics kind of come from there. That's kind of like sort of how like my songs kind of come about. And I definitely have a harder time like writing a song and then working on it, or like coming up with the idea and working on it. It's more like I get struck with like inspiration and I have to write it down and like all comes out immediately kind of thing. I feel like Manhattan in Spring is like maybe the one song I've been working on and working on and working on. But for the most part, like Drowsy Daydream kind of just like happened, no problem, sort of thing. And like a lot of my other songs, they just kind of, even I Love House Shows kind of just happened. And so yeah, I just like have to really take advantage of those moments of inspiration, because if I don't have a song sometimes. So
Yeah.
yes.
Awesome. And then I'm putting you on the spot here, but I think you'll have an answer. Maybe your top 3 favorite, most influential songs.
Oh yes, I can do that. Let's see. Okay, I feel like okay, so I think I like I said, I already cited Mac DeMarco before, but I'm gonna do it again. I will say Mac DeMarco, Ode to Viceroy. Not because I write music like that, but because I feel like once I got introduced to Mac DeMarco, that's kind of when, I hate to say like, or be cliche, like when my life changed. But that's really like around that time in my life, I was listening to like so much different music and like more like alternative music, not just like what my parents listened to. And that's kind of when I decided like I really want to do music. So I feel like that music inspired me to want to do music in a way. So I would say Ode to Viceroy, Mac DeMarco, number 1. Number 2 would definitely be Tumbling Dice by the Stones. I love that song, The Rolling Stones. That whole album is really super influential to me. I was lucky enough to see the Stones, and they were great even in their old age. And yeah, it was just like, it's the energy, it's the passion, it's that like just like dirty kind of like, I don't know. And like if you listen to the recording, they have all these cool group vocals, and I love incorporating group vocals in my songs, and just like this camaraderie. Like I just think the song has like a whole life of its own that like music is all about. It's like the camaraderie, it's the energy, it's the the lifestyle, and I feel like that song kind of embodies the whole thing. Um and then maybe my third song I would say that's most influential. Um I would. Oh, this is hard. I will go. Actually, I will throw everyone off a little bit, and I'm gonna do Mahalia Jackson, who is a gospel singer from way back in the day, and I would probably say she has a song. I don't know if she like wrote it or not. I want to say probably not, but it's a song called "How I Got Over." It's just very powerful. I wish I could sing like she can. I don't sing that way, but I don't know. I think like just hearing a woman who has like a lower range, which I feel like I kind of can identify with, was like just really sick. And she has like very strong voice, and also it's kind of like a little shout out to like my roots in a way. And my grandmother and like my mom's side of the family really loves Mahalia Jackson, and it kind of also taps into like more my spiritual side. And I just think, I don't know, she just is powerful and you know just a fierce performer. And I don't know, it's like really, I don't know, I love to listen to that in the morning, or where I'm trying to, if I have something stressful to happening, or even when I'm in the studio, I'll play it, and it's just kind of like my like get up and go song, I'd say. So yeah. Thank you. Sure, yeah. Sounds good. Um, Let me see. Um, okay, cool. Let me think of something that we'd want here. I'm gonna do a super old Par Usual song. This is like I think I talked about it before. It's Eros, and again Alvin played bass on this one, and this was actually like the first song I ever collaborated with someone on, and I like barely knew Alvin. I was like, hey, could you play bass on this for me? And he did, and he killed it. And I literally plugged him into like a little Scarlett interface in the MIDI lab and got him to play, and I thought I was something. So this one's Eros. watch you dissolve, then eros to me. The way you talk to your mom is the way you talk to me. They tell you, look here son, you seem to be having fun, but you're your father's son. Am I really enough? And I want you, and I need you. I'm done, and I burn, and I burn, and I burn. When you smile for me with your two broken teeth, and underneath your chest, what's where I wanna be? Deposits, the options. I cannot believe you. And I'll say a little prayer. Please don't shave your hair. And I want you, and I need you. I'm done, and I burn, and I burn, and I burn. The highlight I'm told, it'll leave you alone, but I'll wait for you, for both of us. When you fall asleep, after all you've achieved, just dream about the moment, about me. Yep. That was Eros. You can find that on SoundCloud. It's old as the hills, and not my favorite work, but it is my work. I guess I'll play one more, if that's okay. Let's see. Should I play some folklore? I don't want to step on folklore's toes. But being one half of folklore, I think I might have. Okay, I think I might have some jurisdiction. Then I'll play my song, because I actually know how to play it on the guitar. Not to say it's any better or any worse. I think, honestly, this song should have stayed in the vault, as the lyrics make me cringe. But Anna's shaking her head no, so I shall play it anyway. This song is one of the songs off of our little double called Love Drunks, out November 13th. This one is Like a Fool. I show up to the party, Sharpie smelling gin, denim skirt up my ass, saying hey to all my friends, and my eyes getting red, but oh, I still can't see his fine ass stumbling up to me. And I love it when the boy drinks, but like to fireball, dancing with me down the hall, taking shots of anything. And he may look like a fool, having a better time than you. Cologne like marijuana, ooh yeah, I just wanna find a place to rock his world. And when he says my name out loud from some beat up leather couch, he says, no girl, I ain't drunk, and I'm just looking for a little fun. And I turn around and all I see is him passed out on the dock. And I love it when the boy drinks. Well, tomorrow it's Gatorade, cursing out loud everything, saying I never wanna drink again. But I know I'll see him then, tequila with his friends. Said I love it when the boy drinks. But like to fireball, dancing with me down the hall, taking shots of anything. And he may look like a fool, he may look like a fool, like a fool, like a fool, like a fool. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to record and film me. Yes. Adios.